Can you hear me? Okay. So I will go ahead and get started. I have written out I have taken a photo of what's behind me on the whiteboard, and I will upload it to Edmodo for you guys. Here, if you have not had this written down, this is your medication dosage calculation formula that you will always use. So you have your fluid formula if you're calculating injection or a suspension or something of that nature. And then you have your pill formula here. And you always want to follow these guidelines. You have what you want divided by what you have, time your volume is going to equal your dose. If you're given a pill form, it's going to be what you want divided by what you have, and that's going to equal your dose. So if you have any questions, also chapter 53 of your textbook is the math for pharmacology if you ever need to refer to that, or if you have if you forget something. Okay, so I'm going to move over here. Let me know if I'm going either too fast or you're not able to see something. I'm trying to get the angle where you can see the answers, and then I'm also going to work them out one by one on the whiteboard. So you had 5 math problems for your lab assignment yesterday. I have the problems written out. I have the problem written in red, and the correct answer is written in green. Once I move, you'll be able to see the responses, but we will work them out together. Cindy, are you able to speak other than chat? Can you turn your audio on? Or is it only allowing you to just do the typing chat? Okay. I'll work on that. Okay. So for now, just let me see real quick. Okay. I'll look that information up. So for now, these are your problems. I will go over them, and then I will work them out here together on the board. That's why I wanted to see. I'll have to figure out how to get your audio connected. That way we can do a class participation together in the future. Okay. So I'll move it closer just a tiny bit. So your first problem here, I know you can't see me, but that's okay. You can still hear the sound of my voice. So you had to prepare 0.45 grams. What you had available was 300 milligrams per 1 meal. And in case those of you who did not know, the MAE stands for milliliter. So, or ml is the same thing as a cc. Okay, so this is an L, not a 1 or a capital I. So it's an M and an L. Okay. So let's write it out together. Okay. So we want 0.45 grams. What we have is 300 milligrams per meal. 1.5 is going to be our correct answer. So let's write it out so you can see how it's going to be written so that you can calculate your answer. So we are doing a fluid volume because it is ml. We're wanting, so what we want is 0.45 gram. It is going to be divided by what we have. What we have is 300 milligrams per meal. Okay. So this is how you're going to start your working your problem. Your next step of this will come in just a little bit. So first of all, we need to figure out, so let's take a piece of paper and hide that meal. That's going to be that's our volume. So to decrease your confusion on what you're going to give, take that away for now. But if you take it away, like hide it from your memory, remember you're going to need it to equal out your volume. So we need to, first off, we got to figure this out, right? 0.45 grams over 300 milligram. So I know you can't speak, but someone tell me how many milligrams is in a gram. I want you to type it out. So maybe Valen told you 1,000. Okay. So what's going to be the easiest way to do this? So you're going to, hey Steph. So what I would recommend doing is, we know that there's 1,000 milligrams per gram, right? All right. So what I would do, it's going to be a long way. It's going to be longer division if you do it the long way, but this is what you're going to do. We have zero, let's rewrite it. 0.5 gram over, we have 300. Okay. We're going to multiply that by 1,000. So let's do that first. So we still have, we're bringing it over. I'm not doing anything different. We have 0.45. Can y'all still see the board? Okay. So what is 300 times 1,000? Stephanie? Turn my handy dandy calculator on, y'all. $300,000? Come on now, Stephanie. So then we need to divide, all right? So somebody, any volunteers? Let me rewrite it. Hold on. Let me get this. This is going to be long division. Y'all, my mind. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to divide. Yes, correct. I'm wanting to cancel out one of these measurements. That's going to be the easiest way to figure this out. I'm going to work it. I was wanting to see, let's divide. Lois, what am I dividing? Lois, what am I dividing? Divide the top number by 1,000, right? So what does that give us? Still a big number. 300 by 1,000, right? Or which one? $0.3. Then what do we do? That's right, Stephanie. But if we did this, then what? Then what next? Okay, 0.3 is if we divided the 300 by 1,000. Then what do we have to do? $0.3 Then we're going to divide this. Correct. Yeah, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Okay. So we had our fluid. We had what we wanted, which was 0.45. Divided by what we have. This is what we have per meal. If this would have been a different number here, we would have had to multiply it there to get our correct dosage. Okay, so this is your right answer. It's 1.5 meal. Okay, let's do number 2. I'm making y'all work these out. I'm going to go home and do some homework on how to get y'all's audio going so I can see your pretty faces too. All right, so number 2, we want 30 milligrams. So what we want is 30 milligram. What we have, we're going to divide it. We have 25 milligrams per meal. Okay, so this should be a fairly easy one because both of these are milligrams, right? So we're going to divide. Somebody tell me what we're dividing. I'm going to move out of the way. What are we dividing here? We are dividing 25 into 30. This is going to give us our answer, which is 1.2. Had we have had a different number here, it was only a single number per meal, we would have had to multiply that, but it was a single meal. So it was 25 milligrams per meal. You're going to give 1.2 meals of that medication. Very good. 30 divided by 25. So you're going to have this picked up in no time. Number 3. I wrote these out. I don't know if these were the exact number that was on your lab assignment, but I just wrote them out according to where I had gotten these problems from. So they may look a little different from how it was written on the computer. So number 3, we are preparing 0.3 grams. We want 0.3 gram divided by what we have. Here's a number here, so we're going to have to do that extra step. So we have 900 milligrams per 6 meal. Okay, so what's our first step? Bye, Steph. So what's our first step? We need to divide, but what are we dividing? Come on, girls. Tell me what we dividing. $900 divided by 1,000. And what is that? Convert. So if we do 900 divided by 1,000, we're going to get 0.9. So then we still have the 0.3. 0.3. We have 0.9. I'm going to still bring this over so that we don't forget about it. Per 6 meal. So then what do we need to do? Change the 0.3 to milligrams first. Okay, how do we do that? Grams. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do to cancel this out before we multiply? We have 0.3 and 0.9. We have 0.9 if we divide 900 by 1,000. Would we be able to simplify this fraction first and then multiply it? Or what did we mess up on? Could we have done something differently? Did you get the right answer whenever you worked this problem at home? Did you get 2 meals? Okay, so 0.3, you have both of, okay, 0.3 divided by 0.9, we have 0.33333. Then, if we multiply that by 6, we have 2. That's right. So our step here, we're going to divide these numbers. Okay? So when you divide, you're going to get 0.333333. Then you divide that by 6 mil. Remember, we had that extra step because we have 6 mil here. Once you divide that, your answer is going to be 2 mil. And that's how much medication you're going to give to your patient. Okay, it's okay. So let me know if I'm going too fast for you, and I want you to write these steps down so that way you can go back and look at them later. So we have what we want divided by what we have on hand. We had to do that extra step because we have the 6 mil here. All right, so if we divided, we know that there's 1,000 milligrams per gram. If we divided 900 into 1,000, that gave us the 0.9. Then we divide it again, and you get this. You have to do that extra step per mil because we can, your syringe is marked in mils, cc's. So once we divide that, your final answer is going to be 2 ml. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one. You'll have it written down so that I can erase this. Okay, I'm going to move on. Our next problem says we want 0.2 milligrams. So what we want, okay, 0.2 milligrams. Divided by what we have. What we have is 250 micrograms per 5 mil. We have that extra step here. Okay, so we have some conversion that we're going to have to do. Microgram and milligram. What is our first step? First, we have to convert our microgram to milligram. So how many micrograms are there per milligram? $250 divided by 1,000. You sure? You're right. I just like playing with you. 0.25. So we have 0.2 milligram over 0.25 milligram. Then what do we do? Divide again. Okay, so here's our next step. We're going to divide. We're going to divide 0.25 into 0.2, and this is going to give 0.8. We have that extra step, okay, because it is 250 micrograms per 5 ml. So we're going to take 0.8. We have to multiply that by 5. Then your correct answer is going to be 4 ml. And that's how much medication you're going to administer. It's okay. The delays, y'all good. I just want to make sure everybody understands it. So let's go over the problem again before I erase it. We had on hand 0.2 milligrams. Or no, this is what we had ordered. Sorry, this is what we wanted. This is what we had on hand. We did our division. We divided to get this number, to get that number there. We divided 250. All right, divide by 1,000, because there are 1,000 micrograms in a milligram. You do need to know your conversions. So once we do that division, this is what we come up with, 0.25 milligrams. We're still left with the 0.2. We divide that. 0.2 divided by 0.25 is going to give you 0.8. Then you have to do that extra step per volume. Your volume is going to be ml. Once we multiply that by 5, your answer is 4. And that's how many meals or cc's that you're going to administer to your patient. See, it's all coming back to you, isn't it? It just takes a minute. Refresh your memory. Okay, so our last but not least problem. We need 600 milligrams. So 600 milligrams. We have available 0.4 over 0.4 grams per meal. This one's a little bit trickier because then we have the gram on the bottom versus the milligram. Okay, so what's our first step? What do we divide by? So we know that there are 1,000 milligrams to a gram. So do we divide that first? Which one do we divide? All right, so we're going to convert the milligrams to grams first. So we divide 600 by 1,000. We're going to get 0.6. Then we need to divide that by 0.4. Then once you do that final step and you divide this out, it's going to give you 1.5. And this here was only 1 milliliter here. So we don't have to do that extra step. So 1.5 milliliter is your correct answer. And that's what you're going to administer to your patient. Okay. So let's review the problem once more. We needed to administer 600 milligrams. We had on hand 0.4 grams per meal. We needed to do the conversion first because you can't divide these into each other. So we divided 600 by 1,000 and you get 0.6. We bring over the 0.4, you divide that, and then your correct answer is 1.5 ml. And this is what you're going to administer to your patient. So it is a little bit of division and a little bit of multiplication. You're not always going to have a cell phone with you. You're not always going to have a calculator with you. I do recommend, if you don't know your simple multiplication tables, you might want to refresh yourself up on that. So that concludes your review for your lab assignment from yesterday on your word problems. If you have any questions, I will be doing more like these, more homework assignments for you. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will talk to you ladies soon. Bye.